Alright guys, this is the up-to-date 2014 yearbook. Well, not up-to-date, but it's the up-to-date after my battery died. There's Demon Bradshaw and Cody Saucy. I have one of them to get yet. With Tarleton, I still have to get him. Candace Jolly or Taryn Lasky. Still have to get one of them. One of their autographs. Rod Schmidt. Still have to get his autograph. Cam McQueen stuff to get his autograph. Nicole Johnson stuff to get her autograph. And she even comes to Detroit to do a show. Ryan Anderson stuff to get his autograph. Byron Masauer and Scott Butos to get their autographs. These guys, everybody's on my Huff Vickers to get their autographs. And then Sean Duhan, I gotta get. He'll probably be in Detroit next year. Jimmy Kohler, I gotta get. Jimmy Creighton, I gotta get. Jared Mingus doesn't drive iron out. I'm buying him right now. Frank Kermel, I gotta get. And Scott Ladecoat, I gotta get. Norm Miller normally drives on the West Coast, but I can get Steve Sims, I can get. And then, next page. Black Stallion, I can try to get. Barbarian, he might come to Detroit, but I don't know. Bob Robbins, I can try to get. That truck doesn't run anymore. They put it in there for advertising. Bad News, I can try to get. Bulldozer, I can probably get. Alex Blackwell signed it. He drove it in 2007. Greg Winchenbach, I can try to get. Captain USA, I can try to get. And Destroyer, I can try to get. All those trucks, except for Station, were on the West Coast. Detour runs on the West Coast. I could try to get him if I go, and him and Devastator, Fatal Attraction, Heavy Hitter if I go to a West Coast show. Derek Anson's normally on the West Coast, and I've seen him do one show on the East Coast. I think that was in Orlando. Full Bores on the East Coast. He normally does their national shows. Normally does their national shows, but he occasionally will make an appearance at the Ford Field Detroit show. Gunslinger normally does the Southeast shows. Ice Cream Man, I don't know how I get them. I mean, I don't know if I should get them. Jay Snyder, I might get. I don't know. Mike Miller normally drives on the West Coast. Hooked rotates from West to East Coast. Higher Education, I can try to get. Steve Thompson, I can try to get in Higher Education. Steve Thompson, I can try to get in Hurricane Force. My bad, guys. Trent Montgomery's new driver, the second bounty hunter, I can try to get him. Trey Myers, I think he's on the West Coast. I can try to get him. Then Mitch Sluchka is on the West Coast. Paul Broad is on the West Coast. And Ryan Rice on the West Coast. I could try and get all of them. Ron Duncombe is on the West Coast. R.B. Moeller is on the West Coast. I could try to get those two, but I don't know. Aaron Cromer and Lloyd Twitchell are on the West Coast driving Crazy Train. David Smith and King Crunch is on the West Coast. Jim Burns and Mechanical Mischief is on the West Coast. I know Brad Allen and Megabyte is on this side of the town, East Coast. Rick Swan's in the Obsession. Eric Swan's in the Obsessed. They're on the West Coast. And then Darren Basil and Nitro Hornet drives both East Coast and West Coast on David Smith. Raminators in the East Coast and Mark Hall. Prowler and Lenny Killer drives, I think, West Coast now. Only East Coast this is Orlando. Predator and then Pouncer, they drive West Coast. Patriot does West Coast. He also does Ultra Local. Mike Fires Jr. does the West Coast shows with Trey Myers. He does last year. Storm Damage does the East Coast shows. Straight Jackets, a West Coast truck. Shockers, a West Coast truck. I can try to get them. Scarlet Bandit, I can try to get. She might come to Detroit this year. Samson, I can try to get. And then Spike, I can try to get. Corey Romo, I think, is going to be the driver of the new Brutus. But I'm not technically sure. Wrecking Crew, I know, is going to be at the Detroit event this coming year. I can try to get him. War Wizard, I don't know where to find. I don't know if he'll be at the Detroit event February 28th, but January 10th he'll more than likely be in Atlanta. Andy Hoffman or Jeff Cook, I don't know where Jeff Cook's at. Or if Danny Gosh knows. He knows where all the drivers are at. He's a big fan like me. But that's about it. If you have any of you guys know where any of the former drivers are, they're in my 02 yearbook or my 07 or any of those yearbooks, let me know and I'll get back to you. as soon as possible.